Publikumsreaktion, da die ein bisschen zu motivieren. Renn und Schreien klingt sehr gut. Yes! Komm on, gib mal Gas, mach mal Lärm!
Schreit mal einfach!
Gut genug für mich. Absolut guter Bestwert. Vor allem in Anbetracht dessen, dass sich aktuell kein Fahrzeug bewegt.
Es ist bestimmt mindestens ein Cityroller unterwegs. Der Cityroller fährt hier gerade die.
Es kann auch sein, dass wir viel was da passiert.
Aber jetzt muss ich mal ganz kurz fügen sagen, das ist die SSOC Streetcar hier.
Genau, ruhig motivieren. Ja, wir wollten euch das nicht sagen, also das ist das Showprogramm.
Wie gefällt euch das?
Im Wheelie.
Pures Entertainment.
Aber auch beeindruckend, habe ich auch so in der Form jetzt noch nicht gesehen. Macht einen Backflip. Yes!
Yeah!
Na, ihr haut's da raus.
Das ist wichtig.
Ja, ich würde fast sagen, wir werden Toren gehen und sagen, hey, Jungs, cool, aber der macht das. Absolut. Also, jedes Mal wieder spannend, hier eingekauft zu werden.
Ich will mal sagen, die Judges sind da vielleicht nicht ganz einig, aber 98 Punkte habe ich dann gerade in so einer Qualifikation auf die.
Ja, ich würde auch sagen, also gerade ich schätze mal, das heißt Tailwhip oder so irgendwie, war schon sauber.
Clark Lee war das doppelt da.
Ja, mega.
James Dean, wer?
Ja, auch mit diesem Wheelie da connected.
Ja, so.
Jetzt könnte man nochmal nach dem SXOC fragen.
Bleib still auf der Nase.
Scheinbar sind die alle zu Hause schon. Bitte schnell hinter Männer, die müssen rein. Wir kontrollieren hier auch über unsere Displays, ob es hier schon irgendwelche neuen Informationen gibt. Ja, jetzt kann es sich ja wirklich nur mehr um Minuten handeln. es aber doch noch das eine oder andere Interview geben. Immer wieder.
Ich will nicht sagen, dass ich hier gelandet bin. Aber das Einzige, was ich sagen kann, ist, ich glaube, ich war immer noch der allererste, der hier auf dem Sebastian gedrückt ist.
Das ist das perfekte Wort zum Freitag. Ich höre nämlich gerade Thor startet seine UZ Turbo und wird jetzt gleich ins Reifenaufwärmen starten. Da geht es auch schon für Thor Anne Queer in die Burnout-Pit und
So, wir wechseln mal die Richtung, die Seite vom Bagger. Weil die Action ist ja auf der Strecke und nicht in der Burner-Box. Wo die Jungs nochmal ganz kurz den Reifen warm machen. Vortags warm machen, mittags warm machen. Und wenn die dann soweit sind, dann
Kevin Grunberg natürlich mit seinem Volvo Estate, also mit diesem Volvo-Kombi, auch schon in der Burnout-Box. Also die zwei werden jetzt das erste Top 32 Battle der Iron Drift King 2023 austragen. Jetzt geht's auch für beide schon.
All right, welcome back to Iron Drift King 2023 here in Ferropolis. My name is Jacob Gettens, Mr.
Mike Walton.
We're hanging out, checking out the top 32. It was an excellent qualifying. We saw some pretty crazy runs. Thor Anne Kavia, obviously, absolutely crushing.
Yeah, devastatingly so. And he is up in our first battle against Kevin Brunberg.
Yeah, this should be good. I mean, Kevin's, it's going to be a tough one. Thor is incredibly fast and very, very accurate. So
Kevin only had one run as well, so the car didn't seem quite as fast as Thor, so we shall see as we come into the first battle. But look, as Kevin Brunberg climbs up on the side of Thor straight away, out of the box, this looks like it's going to be a sensational battle as he manages to transition that huge Volvo beautifully behind the S13 of Thor, and they come around at the final corner. It's not really giving Thor too much room to argue, and they come over the line. That was a very surprising run.
Yeah,
I didn't think of
I did not think it was going to happen like that. Look how straight Thor was on that initiation, which is very uncharacteristic to anything he's done. That being said, through all the zones incredibly well. Kevin did an amazing job in the chase. Like, this is our first top 32 battle. If this is any indication of what the rest of tonight's going to look like, we are in for a serious ride.
Yeah, it looks absolutely insane. Thor flicking the car, but Kevin just managing to keep up. Now, we're going to swap those two cars around to get Kevin in the lead position, and Thor is going to have to look out for the big swinging back end of that Volvo. I mean, I don't know how much of that, the back end of that Volvo is still Volvo, but I don't want to hit, I wouldn't want to hit anywhere near the back of that car. And it's going to be swinging around as they come through. Thor giving Kevin a little bit of room to maneuver as they come through into the first one. A lot of back, left foot braking by Kevin. Thor giving him room to maneuver and then dives back on him round through clip 4. They transition again. Will Thor make the dive around the last corner? You bet he will. Nudging the side of that massive Volvo as they come round the last corner.
It's almost like a half a car more than Thor's.
Yeah.
It's crazy how big that is. Now, out on the lead, you know, Kevin does have some room for improvement. He was touching most of the zones, but he was not filling them. That being said, Tor was pretty much on him the whole time. We see a little bit of a gap here. Not quite as good as Kevin's initial chase, but then Tor starts to reel him in, and this dive right here going into 4 is really where it kind of changes. So it definitely comes down to, okay, who had a better lead? In my opinion, I think Tor did have a better lead, and then when it comes to the chase, it could kind of go either way. So it's man, it's already going to be tough right off the bat.
Yeah, immediately a sensational battle, and just look at things to come. Look at this.
What a view!
Yeah, it looks absolutely incredible out there. This sad I'm missing the sunset, but these battles are absolutely amazing.
We got a chance to speak to a couple drivers during the break, and they were saying that the change between the dark and the sunlight was absolutely affecting them. Was it zone 3? Yeah. That was the big one just coming into the shade. They said you can't even see it coming out. Oh, look at that. I love this support here. I mean, it's like, you know, it's always great when guys are getting out and congratulating each other, even before they know. Yeah. Both of them are excited. Now we wait for our judge's decision. I don't know how Tor got his helmet off that quick. Look at it.
Yeah, it was very quick. Hat off, helmet on.
Yep. And the winner is
Tor takes the win on our first battle of the top 32. And,
yeah, what a
well played by Kevin, though.
Look, he's just picking up body panels everywhere. I wonder if that was just left over from the last one. So and there we go. Official decision making it down to them, and they know what the decision is now. But Kevin, man, nothing to be upset about there. That was absolutely incredible. Tor, shout out to the fans.
Yeah, he's
lots of Norwegians in the building.
There are a lot of Norwegians in the building. You can hear the crowd.
Yeah,
there's lots and lots. A very big fan base here for Tor and the rest of the Norwegians.
See, we got fans of all shapes, sizes, ages.
Yeah,
hanging out. Always good to get the young ones in.
Yeah.
Have you taken your kids to a drift event yet?
No, not yet. Too young. Just yet.
So next up we have Simon Olsen and Jan Erik Sieber. Simon qualifying 16th, Jan 17th, so these guys fairly close. As they come off the line, Simon out front in that Supra, Jan following behind. Looks like Simon gapped him a little bit, although missing that first outside zone. He's had trouble with that all weekend. Same thing, missing part of that second outside zone. Doing a fairly good job through 3, diving in for 4. Nice job filling that whole thing out, rubbing that carbon Kevlar body kit across the concrete barrier. And Simon really looks like he's trying to run away. Trying to grip that car up and get out of there, but Jan Erik not allowing him to.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap there from Jan Erik as they come through into the initiation. Manages to catch up, kind of gets a little bit caught behind, loses a bit of pace again. It's just a bit scrappy, really. It's not like the first battle we saw. There's a lot of corners being cut by Jan Erik to get back on the side of Simon Olsen's car.
Yeah, Simon, you know,
it just didn't look as fluid as the previous battle. But
I will say, you know, looking just even at those zones, Simon did miss a couple of zones. So, I mean, there's definitely room for Jan Erik to get in there and make up for that. So Simon is a really, really good chase driver. He's very aggressive in the chase. So we'll see how this goes. And I think there's going to be a bit of a horsepower and speed discrepancy too. So this will be interesting.
So let's flip him around. Jan Erik Sieber in the lead, seeming to drive away now from Simon Olsen. Simon Olsen now coming back into the battle a little bit, but not really making too much of an impact.
Good transition though.
Rubbing the wall all over the back of that 370Z. As Simon jumping back now, just trying to close the gap up a little bit as they come through. Still a fairly scrappy battle, but a little bit of improvement over the first battle.
This is really going to come down to who missed what in the lead. I would say both chases were relatively close. I really think it's going to come down to, you know, how many zones did everybody fill? How well did they do it? That outer zone 4 was incredible. I mean, that wing got absolutely brutalized the whole way through. We do see Simon able to close up the gap here and there. Right here, there goes the wing. I think did he catch it on a sign? Now just on the wall. And then you can see, like, they're driving basically straight into the sunlight. You see the front end of the cars light up as they're going into the light. So that's got to be difficult. And we can see them, you know, basically missing zone 5 there. So not how you want. You don't want to win a battle because you missed less zones than the other guy, but that's kind of what I feel like this is going to come down
I think it looks like it is going to. And yeah, look at that, how low that sun is at the minute. Just looking out there, it's quite strong, the sun here. These guys are going to be struggling. They're not going to know where the walls are. They've not only have they got to concentrate where the walls are, but not hit the guy in front as well. There we go. There's a big hug.
I love seeing that. I mean, no matter what's going on, you know, how hard you're battling each other, that everybody's good friends afterwards. And that seems to be the way in the pits, too. We see guys at others' pits and helping each other out. And is that a one more time? That is a one more time. I'm all right with that. I am definitely all right with that. I think both guys do need to clean it up in the lead, though. You know.
It wasn't the tidiest of runs, if I'm honest.
No. But they'll get there. I'm not worried. Okay, next up, we've got Fionn Roche and
Baz Mool. Fionn and Baz.
Oh, no. No, sorry. It is Mikkel.
Oh, sorry. Mikkel.
Yeah. Mikkel Overgaard. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got to get the paper out. There we go.
Mikkel in the lead position, Fionn in the chase position, but Fionn is an animal in the chase position if he can keep up. And look, there we go, a dive from Fionn Roche on the side of Mikkel's car as they come round into the centre of the course. Fionn Roche desperately grappling onto the side, keeping a little bit of distance. Look at that transition though through the smoke, not letting any of that sunshine or the smoke get in the way of a good battle. And that was a fantastic lead run by Mikkel and a very good chase by Fionn.
Yeah, Fionn, you did call it if he can keep up, and he really did. He was able to dive in there on that first initiation, closed up the gap, stayed, I mean, I would say a safe distance back. You can see him kind of just eyeing up and understanding what's going on in the lead for Mikkel, who also just did a great job. I mean, you need to have a solid lead run in order to have a great chase. If guys start cutting the line or missing zones, that chase kind of falls apart quite quickly. But yeah, good transitions, incredible timing there, especially with the changing sunlight that we see going on right now. But yeah, well, they're going to swap it up and change up who's in the lead. So Fionn is going to take the lead now. Mikkel in the chase.
Yeah, I feel these two cars are very evenly matched speed-wise. They're pretty much the same. So, well, the BMW is obviously a bit bigger, but
yeah,
they're fairly well matched. And the driving style is similar as well.
Yeah, I agree. They both have a pretty quick initiation coming down. Neither of them is like really doing massive burnouts for it. It's been good watching both of them so far, and this is a very, very evenly matched battle.
Fionn now leading out Mikkel as they come into the first corner. Nice initiation from Fionn Roche, but Mikkel straight on the door, nearly touching the rear quarter of Fionn Roche as Fionn Roche hitting the clipping zones absolutely perfectly. And look, the bumper comes off Fionn Roche's car. It doesn't deter Mikkel at all as he makes another dive through the smoke around the final corner, knocking on the rear quarter of Fionn Roche's car. They come around the final bend and over the line. This is very hard. This is going to be very hard to separate.
This might be a long night. This might be a long night with how well everybody's driving so far. We talked about this in qualifying, how much this is a chase driver's track. You've got, three basically large outside zones with individual clipping points, but it allows the drivers to really reel things in and find a good spot to chase.
Sorry, I just took my headphones off there to hear what the judges were saying. I was interested to hear what they were saying, and they're having a discussion.
I think what they decided was that they're going to need to order some coffee because we're going to be here for a bit. Yeah. No, that was a great battle. I can't believe this is already this is top 32. This is actually crazy.
It's the third battle of top 32.
Yeah, these are the proximity to the line, everything else. It's good. We're going to get very nitpicky here very quickly with how good this is.
Yeah, I mean, the track kind of lends itself to very good chase battles, so you'd struggle to get away. You only have to cut one corner a little bit to catch up with the lead driver.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some very close battles, and I don't think anyone's going to get away from anyone.
Well, I think, too, because we have these multiple smaller zones, it is very different than if we just had three large outside zones, right? That if you had it separated like that, you couldn't cut as much because you'd be leaving more of a chunk of zone. So it looks like Fionn Roche is going to get the win. Wow.
And he proceeds through to the top 16.
Great job for the youngster there. It's, Simon Olsen's mom just texted me. I know how terrible that sounds, but she said she's going to start calling him the one more time kid. He is. I mean, he is definitely known for his one more times.
Yeah. Up next, Baz Maul and William Gibbs. So William Gibbs getting that car dialed in for the second run today for Baz Maul.
Ooh, that was an interesting feint initiation.
Higher.
It was very, very quick feint initiation. That's how he holds it through two. Great line, like very stable in the lead there as he comes in through four. And
yeah, very straight from Will Gibbs, having absolutely, I wouldn't say any chaseability. All he's doing is cutting the track. He's not really drifting the car at all. It looks like a big mechanical problem there for Will Gibbs' this car, but that was...
it was kind of strange. We definitely didn't see that in qualifying.
Yeah, it was kind of an ineffective chase, really, as such, because, I mean, you wouldn't really class that as drifting. Through most of it, it's just through the center of the track, really. So.
But Baz Maul, like, great, absolutely incredible lead run. You know, he's filling the zones. His initiation was great. No, there was no major mistakes there. So it left everything for William Gibbs to be able to provide a really, really good chase run, but just didn't come together for him.
So let's swap those around. Hope there's not too much of a problem. Mechanical issue for Will Gibbs.
We're going to find out quick. Do they do a 5-minute mechanical? I didn't get clarification on that. No? No, so you got to be perfect. Your car's got to be running. That's, well, that'll keep the show running, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And we should be good to go. See those lights come on. Wait for the green one.
And Will Gibbs, that leaves the line. A little bit of a hesitation there.
Seems slow.
Gets the car going as they flick into the first corner. Will Gibbs looking a bit shaky. Baz Maul giving him a little bit of room to maneuver, but then climbing back on the door where he can. Very strategically backs off there before Will Gibbs makes a transition. I think he's really playing the game very well here. Baz Maul! And just about avoids. Yeah, I think he was playing a very good game there, Baz Maul.
Yeah, no,
he was clever. He could see exactly where Will Gibbs was going to go wrong, and he was just trying to interpret his driving the whole way round.
Yeah, I think Baz is a very, very smart driver. I'm curious what his spotter maybe told him about the chase that was behind him, or if he was aware of it and kind of, came up with the game plan of like, hey, something's not going on.
Yeah, I should think so, because either that or he's got a crystal ball inside his car.
He might. But yeah, he was aware that Will wasn't driving correctly. There was something going on, and he made the correct choices to maintain proximity, but without trying to door him. Knew that the line was going to be shallow. Made all the right calls. So I have a feeling I know which way that's going to go. I do like this part, though. Drivers just getting out, high fives and hugs while the judges make their decision. It's good. It's good to see. As long as everybody's happy. Look at just already explaining to each other what was going on.
Yeah.
We can do voiceovers if you want.
Predictably, the win goes to Baz Maul.
Yeah. Hopefully, Will Gibbs is able to kind of figure out what was going on there. I think that there was some sort of mechanical or something down on power.
And we will move swiftly on to our next battle. Ian Phillips versus Mikolaj.
You just call him Miko?
Miko.
Ian and Miko?
Ian and Miko. That sounds much better. So
Miko
leads out Ian as they head through into the first corner. A bit of separation. Ian tries to get back into the game by cutting the corner. Doesn't seem to have an answer for Miko's pace at all whatsoever. Again, massive cutting of the track by Biz just to try and keep up just having no answer at all. The pace difference is
It's pretty substantial.
yeah, massive. Huge
Yeah.
pace difference between those two cars.
Yeah. Miko up front just absolutely got on the throttle, gripped the car up and basically took off. And Ian didn't really have an answer for it. I mean, he could have cut more of the zone and really just given up.
It's an ineffective chase at that stage. There is no. I mean, this is a borderline anyway, but.
I would say he did the right thing considering where he tried to fall back into place and time some of these transitions, but it's tough when someone's got, either that much horsepower or that much grip on you.
Yeah.
There's very little that you can do. But the interesting part now is going to be now that they flip Ian out front, who seems to be slower than Miko, what's gonna happen, right? Is Miko able to hold that car back and follow correctly, or is having a slower car in front of you going to be a massive detriment? So.
And we shall see as Ian tries, big handbrake initiation, but Miko seems to be reeling him in through the first corner. They transition into the second corner. Miko again reels him in. Biz on a reasonably good line, and Miko just cutting corners a little bit, not quite as much as Ian granted, but there's still reels him in just around the end.
He punches through the smoke there at the end. That could have went south real quick.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was able to see what was going on there. But yeah, you can see. I mean, as much as Ian was a bit slower, I will say he does have pace. It's not like he's just doing a standing burnout throughout the track. But Miko played this game correctly, understood what he needs to do in the chase after seeing what Ian had done in his chase. And it really wasn't a bad lead.
I think the chase was still a bit shaky from Miko, if I'm entirely honest with you. Although there may have been a tiny bit more proximity, it wasn't the same all the way through. It wasn't consistent. Whereas Ian's was, although it wasn't as close, more consistent all the way around.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and that's tough too when you have somebody that is of a different speed and there's that much of a discrepancy. You kind of have to dive in and then hold back, and usually riding left foot brake for long periods of time. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
No, but I think. They
don't even
so
give
Miko
time.
takes a win.
Yeah.
And I assume Ian's was a 0. Yeah, so that was a 0 for Ian as he spun just before he went over the line.
Sora moves on. Someone's rocking a big burnout. All right, next up, Jan Hada versus Ole Peter Vatten. I like Ole.
Ole.
Ole?
Ole, 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 ole. We're going to get in trouble for that.
100% we are. 100%. All right. Jan out front with a great lead so far as they come through that first outside zone, able to fill the second one. Very reminiscent of what his qualifying run looked like. Big transition into 4. Everything looking very smooth. We've seen a good follow here, though. You got to be careful during that transition. If you're too far up on the lead car, there's a good chance you're going to get knocked around a bit. But that was very tidy. That was very tidy. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the chase drivers' transitions maybe a little bit better timed, but the initiation was spot on, and I mean, it was a well put together run. Do you see them come here through 2? Chase driver pushing a little bit too far on the lead, but a little bit of a gap there too. I mean, the timing on that was pretty good as he dives into 4. It's tough. It's oh man, what a great lead though. It's definitely tough to be able to time this out perfectly because you have to understand when they're going to launch out of the zone, and then you kind of have to predict it too.
Yeah, especially there's like so little room for maneuver. So Ole now to lead out.
Jan following in behind.
Jan taking a bit of a jump there. As Ole initiates, comes into the first corner, firing into the fifth corner. He's not going to make it. He does make it.
Jeez.
Touch and go off of the wall. And Jan had absolutely no idea what was going to go on there, so just held back a little bit. I think that was a very good move there from Jan not to go follow Ole straight into the wall. They come around the final corner, a little bit of separation there.
That was intense. I thought he was going to.
I don't know what was going to happen there.
We had a lot of speed going into the initiation. It was a little far left of where the judges want. You can see how much speed he's got. And then right here, it looks like he locks up the front as well. Does he go? Oh, it just cuts. I was trying to see if he went 2 wheels off in the lead. It looks... No.
I don't think... Wow.
He kind of went front wheel through the zone.
You really have to try hard to go 2 wheels off on this track because there's walls just immediately after the line.
Just walls everywhere. But, yeah, I mean, the rest of the run was fine.
I mean, there's a bit of separation.
Yeah, I meant more just in the lead. Like, the rest of the lead run was all right. We didn't see any other major mistakes, but... We'll have to see how many, I guess, points deductions or how much that is a detriment in the lead run. Sorry, we're listening into the judges as well.
Yeah,
it is coming down to just small mistakes here and there, but yeah, I'm curious how much that first big mistake is going to cost.
I'm just happy that PS13 still looks as beautiful now as it did at the start of the battle.
We gotta take a good look at that. I really like the graphics. I like the comic book theme on it. Just cool. Just a different way to present your vehicle. Just waiting for the judges to finalize their decisions. They are discussing, and
it goes to Jan, takes the win. And goes through to our top 16. And unfortunately, that mistake from Ole was just far too much.
And just got to see when we're going to be going back and revisiting that Simon Olsen battle. I'm not sure if that is what is up next. Nope, we are moving on.
Nicolas Bertans versus Archie Sugarhammer.
Sugarhammer. If I come here next year and he doesn't have a big hammer on the side of his car, I'm going to be quite upset. So Nicolas out front.
Hammer trying to jump a little bit, get some pace up on the side of Nicolas's cars. Nicolas drives away from Archie. Archie not really having to. Oh my goodness, exactly the same mistake we've just seen again. I wonder if
cooling off.
There's a temperature of the track has changed dramatically and changed the grip levels dramatically because that's... I mean, normally if you see 2 mistakes that are exactly the same one after the other, there is a reason for it. It's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly, to see them happen, back to back like that. So let's see if this completely destroys the run from that one mistake. We see a big lock up there and some left foot brake. He can already tell he's going wide. So the question is, does he reinitiate after impact? And you can see that almost 4-wheel slide.
It's 2 wheels off, so it's...
Yeah, he is 2 wheels off. So in theory, the run could have ended there. But I mean, if you're in the chase, you might as well...
Yeah, you might as well carry on.
I mean, you could hang out and save the tires, but that's not good for the show. We're here for the show.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was definitely a hard hit, and unfortunately the rest of the run, no matter how well you did, doesn't really matter at that point. Yeah, too much sauce in the comments here from Shamil. Now we get to see a big boy lead.
Just hope Archie doesn't make the same mistake. I mean, you've just watched it happen, so surely...
Yeah.
Although I have seen...
I was going to say, Nicolas saw it happen in front of him and still made the same mistake, right?
Yeah.
So, here we go. Green light is on, and away they go.
The hammer leading Nicolas down into the first corner. They don't seem to be making the same mistakes. A very nice line from Archie, and Nicolas has taken full advantage of that and climbing all over the back end of Archie's car. They come around.
He is pushing him through.
Yeah, really pushing on the side. Well, he has everything to play for. He's got a
He's got a huge detriment.
Huge detriment.
That's the best thing you can do. If you're in that position and you know you've got a 0 in the lead.
He's got to try and push Archie into making just a bigger mistake.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
Archie
Scare him.
held his game, held his nerve. He didn't make that mistake.
That was a phenomenal chase run. He was basically dooring him the entire way around. I'm curious to see how many tire marks are on that door right now. But yeah, Nicholas, just monster chase driving skills here. Times things correctly. He's holding the exact same angle through most of this run. He's basically predicting what Archie's going to do. Look at that transition.
Yeah.
He pulls his bumper off.
Yes. Sparks and bits
Wow.
and pieces, bits of debris all over the track coming off of the back of Archie's car.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that he got a 0 on his lead there because that was an absolute expert chase run. Just complete masterclass in how to chase a car.
Yeah.
Archie's already got his helmet off too. Look at that. I don't know how these kids are doing it.
Archie takes the win. It is confirmed.
The sugar hammer moves on. Yeah, that is rough for Nicholas, but I mean that's the way the sport goes. All it takes is one mistake, and your weekend is over. We did see there is a couple of tire marks on that door. There's a few there, so he's going to be remembering that battle for a bit.
When he comes to repaint.
Yeah. Okay, next up.
Sondre Erga versus Matthias Nordgen.
Sondre out front. Matthias is going to be following. Got some pink and orange action going on.
This is a Hot Wheels special.
Is it?
They look very Hot Wheels, both of these cars.
It's like a fantasy battle.
Yeah, Sondre leading in. Matthias.
Oh, there we go.
A beautiful run there. Not too worse. Matthias trying to reel him in halfway through the corner. I mean, there's so much happens so quickly on this track. It's difficult to keep up with all of the action.
Yeah, Sondre, I mean, it seems to be these pink S chassis that just enjoy tearing the rear end off their car.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see, unfortunately, Matthias doesn't have the speed to keep up. But Sondre is just crushing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speed, proximity, angle. I mean, this is a phenomenal run. He is giving up some angle to pick up speed. He could have been, maybe closer to 90 degrees through some of these. But that's the game you play, right? Is it more visually impactful?
I mean,
I'm just nitpicking.
Yeah, you really are now.
Yeah.
Wow, I nitpicked.
So let's switch this up. Matthias out front. Sondre is going to be following that big-bodied car.
Yeah, and we'll see if Sondre has what it takes to keep the transitions behind the massive chaser who doesn't initiate.
Launch.
Doesn't initiate at all. Well, tries to initiate, but it's far too late, my friend. You should have been drifting a while ago, and that will not count, I believe, towards the scores at all.
No. But you might as well get the rest of the run done. Yeah. Show it off to the fans. Just don't do anything too silly so you wreck something. But shuts it down again. Uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe there's a problem with the car.
Hopefully not. I mean, that is a beautiful car. I've talked to quite a few people that have driven them. They said they're just absolutely excellent drift cars.
The Chasers or the 13s?
I mean, both, technically.
Yeah,
but the Chasers, I've a lot of guys that have gone over to Japan, done like the Ebizu.
Yeah, I mean, like out of the box, they're a fantastic car.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Just standard.
Yeah,
Don't
just
do anything.
go. No,
Nothing
keep the
at
seats,
all.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, just
comfy.
just drive it.
Put the AC on.
It will drift.
Yeah. Any drift car with AC is a good drift car.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we need to mandate that. All these drivers, they're putting in cool suits. Let's just tell them they have to have air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, surely a cool suit and all the equipment that goes with that is just as heavy as one anyway.
Right.
Actually, I have no idea. I've never felt the weight of both those systems. Someone will be like, no, don't be silly.
Yeah. A couple guys in the chat saying maybe missed a gear. I think that's possible. He did finish the rest of the run, but I'm thinking maybe he slipped out of gear, considering they shut it down again earlier.
Yeah.
But we will get the official decision here. I think the real race now is who can get out of their car quicker.
Yeah, both guys doing... shall we see? Oh, no, neither are getting out the car.
Nope. Oh.
Oh, and then confirmed
Now we got it.
Sondre
Sondre is confirmed.
takes the win.
Yeah.
Now they're getting out of the car.
Now they get their obligatory hug. Now they can do it. So. Does it say Urga?
There goes, yeah. Sondre Urga's fans
Nice.
there. Massive fan base.
All 4 of them.
All 4. That's more than I have.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. You just got to keep having kids. That's what I did. And then you get more fans. All right. I think we are moving on.
We are. We have Andreas Lilja.
And Sebastian Engblom. What a fun last name. Engblom.
Engblom. It's nice to say, isn't it?
Great to say, yeah. It's Andre up front. Seb, can we call him Seb? Save on some words.
I want to say Engblom.
Engblom?
Engblom in the chase position as they come into the first corner. And I thought that was going to be way too wide, but it wasn't at all. Engblom thrown a little bit off, distracted by that, how close Andreas was to the wall. Andreas on a mental lead line here, and Engblom really having a bit of a problem trying to keep up. I mean, contact over the final corner, but I think that was just a case of far too much aggression.
I think I saw the back wheel there might be broken on Engblom. He definitely caught him pretty good. Yeah. This lead.
Yes, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic. All the zones.
I honestly thought it was going into the wall, and he just pulled it out the back, which is exactly what you want to do in a lead run. Throws off your chase driver, which worked spectacularly.
Yeah. Lots of pops and bangs. Enjoyed the sounds out of these cars, and you can see here.
Yeah, just to see what happens as he climbs up way too far forward.
Yeah.
And just trying to push around the last corner, try and make a bit of a statement. But
I would definitely put that on the chase driver, at least in my opinion. Just too aggressive.
Yeah,
and catching on. It looks judges are saying the same thing.
Definitely a chase driver fault.
Yeah. And he does have a puncture. Okay. So it does. Yeah. So that is going to be the fault then of the chase driver.
And he has a puncture. There are no 5-minute rules, so that's the end of his day.
Wow. I mean, applause for pushing hard, right? That's what you want to do if you know you need to make up for it. But obviously there's a line as to how hard you can push things. And
that was crossed.
I think, yeah, he definitely crossed that line. So hopefully that's minimal damage to the car and he can patch things up and be ready to go for the next event.
Yeah.
So the judges right now are just discussing to ensure was it Andreas has to be able to cross the line in order to continue on.
Okay, so Andreas has to leave the line and he has to initiate into the first corner.
Has to be able to prove that he can drift the car.
So yeah, he has to prove that he can still drift the car.
Yeah.
So I believe, I mean, they've announced Andreas as the winner, but I think he still needs to make that corner.
I'm here for it. Let's put on a show.
We'll see. Are they going to make him do it? I mean, we know he can do the drift in reality, but yes. I think he still has to
Can confirm he knows how to drift. I think that's what they're just discussing right now. Hey, we need you to just huck this thing in once.
Yeah.
Do a big backy. Given the opportunity to do this, what do? You just huck like a huge backy into the first corner?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is initiate.
Yeah. Define initiate, just like a quick little...
Now, is he going to play it cool, just do the initiation, drive around the rest? Nah, I think he's just going to do full-blown run.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can definitely do it, guys.
Yeah.
You want me to prove I can do it? Watch.
Mom, look at me. Oh, man. You can just listen in for a minute and hear that 2J pop off.
Yeah, and watch it as well. It's a phenomenal-looking car. It's very shiny. It looks fantastic under the lights here. Comes around the final corner.
360?
Smoke everywhere. Will he do a 360? No, not quite.
Not quite.
There we go. Now he's won. Now Andreas has won
he's officially won. Yeah, I wrote it on paper, so it's official now. Love the flashing lights. I mean, I'm one of those people. Put as much flair on your car as you can, right? Like, throw the lights
Why
on,
not?
throw the cool livery. You know, you want the attention. They're all here for the attention, right?
Yeah, I mean, surely you don't build these cars to be bland. It's not it's your pride and joy that you're throwing against a wall in front of a crowd of thousands of people with another few thousand people online watching you.
Yeah,
don't want it to be bland.
What a silly thing we love.
Why?
Right?
Yeah. Why do we do this?
Why do we do this?
I know why.
This is why
I know why we do this.
Oh man, that sunset though. Like I said, I feel like a broken record, but this is just an incredible facility. I feel very honored to be able to come and do this, and it's.
I just wish we had this kind of place in my country.
In England?
In England. There's no chance.
Jolly old England.
Jolly old. What? You can't have things like that in England. Anyway. Next up, we have Peter Klawski and Mads Andreasen. And Peter, in your favorite car?
So far. I mean, it's up there. I don't know about...
I think it's just very NASCAR, which is why you like it, because you're American and
I'm
you
Canadian.
must like.
I'm Canadian.
You're American when you want to be and Canadian when you want to be. You told me that yourself, right? Peter on a very good lead run at the minute. Mads cutting the track ever so slightly to gain some proximity, but falls back in line now and starting to look like a much more traditional chase run as he comes back onto the side of Peter's car and over the line.
Yeah, Peter put on just a clinic out there in the lead. Big angle, tons of proximity. Like this initiation is spot on. Yeah,
the line is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and I mean it does make for a good chase, but when somebody takes off from the line that quickly, is able to get the power down without blowing the tires off. It's tough as a chase driver, but Mads does do a good job coming here through 4 to start to reel him back in. But that's half the track already done. So you just have to try and get as close as you possibly can for these last couple of zones, and hope that your lead run is going to be a bit better. So we do swap it up. Mads out front and Peter in the chase. Look how wide that car is. Look how wide Peter's car is.
My concern is Peter's not going to be able to keep that car slow enough.
It's a
fast car, and he looks like an aggressive driver who only drives flat out. And I hope he's about to prove me wrong as Mads throws it into the first corner on a fairly decent line, leaving the door open for Peter. But Peter not really taking that much of advantage. Makes a dive now as they come through into the second corner. They come round, transition again into the third corner through the smoke. That was a lovely transition by Peter, proving me completely wrong as they come through the final clip and across the line.
There was some hesitation there in the beginning, and I think he was trying to understand how fast this initiation was going to be and not realizing that Mads actually can lock this thing in and take off. And then at that point, it becomes a bit of a panic mode of, okay, I need to catch up. Where do I do it? How can I do it in a smart way? And you can see he's just using the power of the car. He is shaving a little bit of the zones off to get that proximity in, but that transition into 4, that's what made it for him.
Yeah.
You stick in that zone just a little bit longer, you risk it all by transitioning a bit later, and it's the move to make.
So, it definitely pays off, 100%.
Yeah, so obviously this is going to come down to the leads. I was definitely focusing more on the chases. I really don't I don't know who had a better lead on that one, but they both kind of had lackluster beginnings.
Yeah.
So both ends were pretty good. Peter got a bit better proximity, in my opinion. So I think really it comes down to those initial lead runs.
Yeah, I think we're going to see quite a lot of aggression towards the second half of the runs here, and it's going to start to be judged.
Oh, look at that.
On the beginning, and Peter takes the win.
Wow.
And goes through into our top 16.
They're going to have to get their hugs out somewhere else. We're just moving on. Crowd loving the big screen. Waiting on our next selection of drivers here.
It should be Jamie Forel and Richard Lord.
We do still have that one more time battle. Yeah, still waiting on Simon Olsen and Jan-Erik Sieber.
And we are not getting those. We are having Richard Lord.
And Jamie Furel.
Jamie Furel.
Just waiting to see. We are missing a driver at the line. So I'm wondering if there's something going on. I've seen the burnout box take out quite a few drivers over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw someone crash in the burnout box before.
Really?
Yeah. The BDC event. Someone went up the bank.
Really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I've seen guys get real close.
And get stuck. The rear wheels were off the ground because they got
wow.
themselves wedged on the bank. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
I've seen a couple of drivers not scrubbing their fronts enough and then go to do a burnout and it just understeers and almost hit the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they get distracted. So does that mean Richard Lord is not going to be making it to the line? We're still waiting to hear what the official decision is. But that looks like the case. Hopefully we can get somebody in here to give us a quick update as to what happened. But in the meantime, get some free practice here. So Jamie Furel ripping out front.
Yeah. Again, just had to initiate to get through. We have no idea what happened to Richard Lord. So
big move. Yeah.
It's just not there.
No, he disappeared. Open a missing persons case. Almost 360. That was that 270.
I'm going to ask the judges. So how long do the cars have to get to the line? If they're just not at the line, that's it. They've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're hearing that he might have broken in the box.
Oh, I think yeah.
You know what though? If you're gonna break, I would much rather break there than out on track or have something break during initiation and then throw it into the wall. So it could be a lot worse if it's gonna go. I mean, that's kind of where you want it to be. Volvos never break.
Temporarily out of commission.
Yeah, they're resting. He's just sleeping.
Just for a bit. Just give me. I'll catch up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. What an ominous sunset. We still got a whole night of partying to do.
Yeah.
After this is all done, when the track goes cold, the party warms up.
Does it?
That's what I've been told.
Oh.
Yeah. I think there's a little party down at the beach. It's definitely a cool event, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have not been to an event like this.
No?
Ever.
Got to get you over to the US, come over to a Grid Life, or over to Norway to Gatbil. Next up, Andreas Anker and Franz Kunzig. I'm throwing more accent as I get more confident
I like
these
it.
names.
I'm
yeah.
enjoying you. I'm
trying.
I love it.
Andreas out front.
I'm going to try Oot.
Oot? Out in the boot?
I'm going to try Oot. Your accent.
I can't do that. Franz following in behind. A little bit of contact
huge
there.
contact between those two cars as they come through the first corner. Transition into the second corner, not the best transition.
No. Andreas seems a little bit slow. Just not able to keep up, and Franz is he's really trying to push him around the track there. So what this will come down to is, was the contact because the lead car was not doing what he's supposed to be doing, or is it because the chase car was being too aggressive?
So now let's have a look as they come through. Decent lead line and no initiation for the chase car. Oh.
That is a solid question. I did see the lead car almost straighten and then kind of like get back into angle.
Yeah, and it was nowhere near clip 2 either. So
yeah,
which does suggest that it is the lead car's fault.
We're just waiting to hear what the judges are saying here, who is at fault. But either way, they're going to run it again. And we're going to flip it around, and Franz will be out front, and Andreas will be following. As we count it down, green means go.
Both cars lead the line. Franz leading out. Andreas with a titanic gap.
Talking the Gapabees.
Yeah. I mean, at what point do you say nah?
Not right now, that's for sure.
Yeah. It climbs back up onto the side. Transitions nearly takes out the front of the car as they come around the final corner.
We got some fire.
Tire fire. Oh, it is on fire still, so we don't know whether that's some fuel.
Look at that. Just walked away from him. We call that bus lengths. Yeah, that's when you really, really get away from him there. But Yeah, I mean, definitely a solid run coming from Franz, but Andreas just not able to keep up. Same thing, though. You have to make sure that that Franz is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He is through those zones, popping some flame off. Always a big fan of that. Let's see here through our last zone, and where's that fire stick out? I don't see it anymore, so should be good.
Although I don't see the car either at the minute.
Yeah, but you don't see a giant flame, so, I mean, looks like our fire crew's doing double duty.
Crew having a look.
Can feel it. Feel the frustration. Hopefully everything's all right in the car. You don't want insult to injury.
Yeah, I mean, if there was fuel leaking on the tyre, it could have explained some of the pace issues that he was having.
Yeah, I mean, if it's hard to say where the fire came from. I don't know if it was tire. I know a lot of guys will run like vent tubes from the gas tank, like near the rear wheel, which I mean is cool until you're cleaning up your car with a dustbin. But yeah, hard to say. I mean, you can definitely get the tires hot enough that they combust, but usually there's something else that's going on.
In the crowd today is Matt Carter, who was famous for igniting his rear tyres.
Really?
But I can confirm taking a win is Andreas.
Curious on an explanation on that one, gentlemen? Okay. So what we're hearing is it comes down to the initiation that Franz did not...
Yeah, on the first battle.
In the first battle did not initiate in time and basically zeroed out that one.
Yeah.
So, wow, Andreas Anker...
Takes the win.
Takes the win. I mean, hey, look, that's why those judges are, making more. They get 2 helpings of dinner, whereas we get 1, so for their extra work. But, yeah, that's phenomenal. Hopefully the damage isn't anything severe and it was just a vent or something like that. But
yeah.
Andreas Anker moving on. Next up, we should be seeing Sebastian Fontin and Roger Stockley. Fontin?
Yeah, Fontin leading out Roger Stockley in that monster V8 powered S14. It doesn't look like an S14 anymore, and look at Sebastian Fontin. Absolutely miles ahead as he tears away from the S14 of Roger Stockley. He doesn't have any answers, cutting the track at all, reels him in ever so slightly. Can he make a dive on the transition? Not really, as he cuts the track massively. Sebastian Fontin on a tremendous line as we see him, as we've seen him in qualifying. And yeah,
well, this just shows
Stocky, no answer at all.
Well, you can have all the horsepower in the world, and you can have. I mean, Zestinos are no joke. Like those are quality tires, but you have to make sure that you've got the car set up in a way that's going to be, beneficial to both the way that you need to drive and the way you need to drive against somebody else.
Yeah.
If you know somebody is going to be fast, that's you start dialing your toe in a bit. Maybe add some positive caster to the car. There's lots of different ways you can be dialing in grip, and it just seems like that wasn't here.
No.
So, such a fine line, too, because it doesn't take much to overgrip the car and make it undrivable.
Yeah.
So, we talk a lot about how well the drivers are doing, but having a solid crew, a solid spotter, mechanics that know how to adjust the car for what you need.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that earlier in the battles today when the team must have been talking to the drivers.
Yes, has to be.
To say...
Well, between qualifying and top 32, like a couple of these drivers are looking completely different.
Yeah.
Even from practice to qualify, or even qualifying 1 to run 2. So yeah, you have to make adjustments. You have to look at the situation honestly and be like, where am I screwing up? What's the car and what's me?
It's the fun of drifting right. Roger Stockley now leaving out Sebastian Fontin. Sebastian Fontin giving him a little bit of room to move around, find his feet and get on the line. Fontin knows he doesn't have to do too much. His spotters would have told him that Roger was miles away from him. So Sebastian just, he doesn't take any prisoners with that dive though. Round the final corner just to make a point as they come through the final corner and over the line.
Roger seemed to find his pace there near the end of the run. He was able to fill out a couple extra zones in the latter half of that battle, but in the beginning here, you can see the car once again trying to drive straight after initiation, which kind of tells me that he's not. There's something going on with the setup.
Yeah, it doesn't look comfortable, does it?
No, it looks very, very
cool,
twitchy.
but it doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it just looks very twitchy and kind of unpredictable. I am not a mechanic, but I can tell you when a car is not looking at its best. So, I mean, did much better in the last couple of zones here, but it, yeah, you can see here through zone 6 and zone 7 was able to finally find the line, but kind of too little too late at that point. So as long as we're not missing any major mistakes, which, hey, could happen, I think I know which way this battle's going to go.
Yeah, I got a fairly good idea.
Yeah, yeah. Are you betting, man?
I am on these odds.
So go back to the driver or to the judge's decision here, and it looks like Sebastian Fontin is going to be moving on. Beautiful looking car, though. I do like Roger's build. I like those Boss build. Someone was correcting me that they don't look American; they look like an old Datsun.
Okay.
Yes. See, we read the comments. We take it honestly.
You take it to heart. It's crying now.
I do, yeah. I am crying a little.
Mopped up a tear there.
People don't realize we're trying
to blow away. There is no wind here today. Yesterday there was a little bit of wind.
There was near the end of the night.
Yeah, that was taking a lot of the smoke away. And as the night falls today and the air becomes very thick and heavy with smoke, doesn't look like Vision's Vision's at its optimum. I'm just trying to look at some other camera views that the judges can see and see if the rest of the track is, that's just as bad as the rest of it,
At the Orlando event this year, they had one of those big, like the big fan boats, blowing the smoke off track. Yeah, most American thing I've seen yet this far.
That's the most American thing anyone's ever described.
Yeah, Christopher out front, Niles following in behind. Christopher getting a good initiation, could be a little bit better. Niles definitely falling back. The transition was very, very awkward from Niles. Christopher filling outside zone 4, mostly not as deep as we wanted to be.
Yeah,
still going to fill those zones.
Absolutely no chase run now, is there?
Niles getting lost in the sauce, though.
I mean, yeah, you can't see anything really. No. I mean, we're struggling through the camera screen to see, so I can't imagine how bad it is for those guys underneath. It looks a lot clearer there, round turn 1, but as you come round into the center section of the track,
yeah, it's filling up with smoke. It's hazy. Good transition in the lead there, but our chase driver Niles is definitely struggling. You can see here he gets buried in smoke coming through the transition, kind of loses his way a little bit, and then same thing here. Buried in the smoke, too deep into outside zone 6. Gives it a little slappy, and now we swap it over. So same thing. Hopefully, Christopher, hearing good notes from his spotter, understand what he needs to do. Niles, same thing. He's probably being told, hey, you have to put down a perfect run, and hopefully Christopher does something silly behind you. That smoke is very thick right now, though. Sure, make for some good pictures,
Yeah.
All the big machinery.
Very atmospheric.
Yes.
Right, and they're going to get the go. Niels now leading out Christopher. Niels looks like he's struggling for traction off the line. Christopher giving him a bit of room to maneuver, but not too much as they come through into the first corner. Niels very shallow on that line. Christopher giving him, again, a little bit of room. Going to make the dive again. He's being sensible. He knows he doesn't need to do too much, but he's doing just enough. Oh, that was a fantastic transition, though.
Whoa,
Niels looked like he nearly dropped 2 wheels there. Nearly, maybe 1, maybe 2. Could have been the end of play for Niels. A 0 out there.
Yeah, and it's the exact same spot that he tapped out last time, so something going on there. I don't think it's any fluid drop or anything like that. So it could just have been the last spot to now hit shade, and it's just losing traction. But yeah, Niels just not looking great out in the leads. You know, the car's not doing what he wants it to do.
It just doesn't look happy, does it?
No, but he got onto those marbles like we talked about before. If
Yeah.
you go over that line, it's just little balls of rubber that
It's just
carry
ice,
away.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, not much you can do there. So, pretty sure Mr. Christopher, I don't know why I decided to say his last name, but try to. Svensson?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
Sivertsen?
Yeah.
I know the font is very small on our paper.
It is incredibly small.
Yeah.
So is the box to fill in the next where the next battles are going. So, and we can confirm Christopher takes the win with Niels not driving exactly as he had hoped.
I need one of those chairs in my life.
Yeah,
It'd be much better than what we got right now.
Like a school chair.
Yeah, reminds. Yeah, I don't know how much time you spent in school, but
Of the little time we did, this is what I remember.
yeah, I could push you up to the desk a little bit more and crumple some papers up and really reminisce.
Please don't. Now up next, Connor Falvey against Arnaud Fischer. Falvey versus Fischer.
Battle of the F's.
F's. Falvey in the lead position. Fischer holding back a little bit. Looking like he is going to want to try and get the jump. Does he? He does get the jump.
Oh, good timing.
Oh, Falvey, though, messing with him, leaving a little bit of time after putting up to mess him up a little bit as Falvey comes around the corner on a nice line. Looks like it's going to go a bit deep. Fischer making the dive right at the end of the first corner. Is he going to make another dive again? He cuts the corner. It's Falvey on a wide line. Will Fischer make a dive now? He needs to do it. He does. He cuts the track, makes a dive onto the front of Falvey's door, and they cross the line.
I really like the way that Connor's car moves and rotates and how he's able to sink the back end into the zones.
Yeah.
So you can see where he's a little bit wide, and then right there, he's able to get the back end out and get the car to sink in. And he's able to make a correction early before the mistake actually even happens.
Yeah.
The downside of this is that Fischer really struggled in the chase there.
Massively struggled. I
Yeah.
mean, he was straight there.
It's really tough, especially if you think a guy's going to make a mistake like that, and maybe you draw back a little bit. But
I mean, they do a good transition here,
Yeah.
though. That was nice, and then it was just a dive again. I think if he just sat a little bit further back, it was a bit too ambitious.
yeah, it's tough. You want to have that proximity, but everything's
But it's
give and take.
you've got to be close to the right part of the car.
Exactly.
You can't be like trying to overtake the lead car on the wrong line. That's just doesn't count. That's not it.
So Fischer out front now. Falvey going to be following.
Oh, Falvey left for dust a little bit on the lead run. I imagine he can draw back as Fischer takes a massive shortcut. Falvey takes an even bigger shortcut to try and gain some proximity. Makes a dive again onto the side of Fischer's door. Fischer really cutting the track massively. Falvey having to judge exactly where he's going by just purely watching the car in front and not the actual track as they come across the line.
Yeah, that was very, very smart driving from Falvey. He was aware of what he needed to do. He made cuts in some interesting spots and how deep he made those, but understanding that Fischer was not on the correct line through a lot of this.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a huge cut by Falvey as well.
Yeah. But, I mean, Fischer's missing a lot of the zone. Like, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to follow him off track, right? So I think personally, I think it's justified. I think making a cut like that makes sense. The other guy's, cutting in some other spots, and you're essentially just picking a line that's going to set you up for a different corner. If you're already going to miss that corner, you might as well miss it completely and then make sure the rest of the run looks good.
100%.
Yeah, cut a little bit here to save yourself somewhere else. I think the sun is now fully set, though, so track conditions should stabilize a little bit now. We'll probably see the temps come down a bit more, but not too much. Temperature's been nice, although it was pretty muggy here on Thursday.
Yeah, yesterday was very muggy, and I hear it's going to be warm tomorrow.
Really? Well, we are off duty tomorrow, sir.
Yes, we are.
Look at that.
So I can confirm taking the win is Connor Falvey, and Fischer just not quite doing enough to get through into the next stage.
Yeah, good job, Connor. That was very smart driving. Very, wise beyond his years. We should have, coming up next, Marius Svokas and Kim Mathiasen. We still have that one more time, though.
We do. At
we
the end.
still have it one more time. Marius out front, Kim following behind. I know I said it before, but solid beard. As someone who can't grow a beard, I can't. This is it. This is the best I'm going to get. Marius out front, Kim following behind. A little bit of a late initiation there.
Oh, huge dive by Kim.
Jeez.
With Marius absolutely nowhere near anywhere he needs to be, and neither is Kim. This is
What is going on?
wildly all over the place. I mean, I don't even know what is going on at this stage,
This is
or
this
how
is
you
wild.
would judge it.
Good luck, boys. So yeah, going back to the replay here, Marius, very early initiation, Kim kind of late to show up, and then Marius just grips the car up here, shoots forward. Kim doing everything he can not to slam into the side of Marius. I think he did a good job, at least that way, but then what else do you do? And look at this dive,
Yeah,
locks
just locks
everything
all
up.
four wheels up, just trying to slow the car down and not crash in.
Way too slow. And then
Mathias is like completely offline. Sorry, Marius is completely offline.
Yeah. And Kim pulls a Mario Kart, shortcut and tries to get back into the battle, but your timing is off, your angle's off, and
it was just incredibly scrappy.
Yeah.
Just nothing. There was nothing nice about that battle at all.
Yeah. Kim now taking the lead. He really just at this point needs to put down a solid run. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just fill the zones as best you can, and Marius is going to have to put him on his door in order to make up for that. Kim with that was a late initiation.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see what he's able to do here. Kim's got a much better run together so far. Marius, though,
he's taken advantage of that lead line that Kim is putting down and actually giving us a fairly decent run here between the two. He makes a dive, hits the wall as well, uses it to change his position. They are knocking doors as they come over the line.
Yeah, that was a much better lead from Kim, although that initiation was super, super long.
Yeah.
You need to be on the throttle for almost all of it. That's
I feel like it's getting a lot slippier out there, and the drivers are finding that difficult to cope with.
A couple people here in the chat said that, that track just turned into an ice rink. It does seem that way.
Yeah, it does.
The temps came down, and the rubber that's on the track starts to harden up a little bit and gets very slippery. So I would say Kim had obviously a much better lead. He hit zones, and Marius had a good chase, but the thing is, Kim couldn't have a good chase.
No.
So,
but then he really cut the track massively.
Yeah.
In his chase position, really.
it was scrappy. It's a tough decision for the wrong reasons, right?
And there are discussions being had next.
They are speaking to each other. There are furrowed brows and concerned looks. All right. Let's see what happens. We got Kim on the left, Marius on the right. Kim is so close to having those turbos poke out of his head. He's so close.
You're just going to nudge him a bit.
I'm going to go talk to him after this. Look,
just put them up a little bit.
Yeah, can you just raise those? You should make them some manifolds. That should be your new thing. All your manifolds should have turbos that stick out of the hood.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't like that.
And Kim gets the win. So Kim gets the win. I don't care what you like. Yeah, I'm asking you. Kim's going to be moving on.
The Canadians are meant to be polite.
We are most of the time. I didn't have enough coffee today.
How? You've drunk nothing but drink coffee.
Yeah, I know. It's not enough yet. Oh, man. So we have one battle left, which was actually our second battle of the top 32, which is Simon Olsen and Jan-Erik Sieber.
So Simon Olsen for one more time in the completely different conditions, might I add, to the first battle he came out.
Which might work out in his favor because that car was overly gripped up.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, I'm hoping they haven't changed anything in the car and it just gets a little bit slipperier.
We are just about to find out as Simon Olsen leads out Jan-Erik Sieber, Simon Olsen driving away. Can he keep control? He misses clip 1 entirely, clip 2 as well. And Jean-Eric Sieber managing to keep that 370. I was going to say he's keeping that 370 in a line, but
look at Simon.
Obviously not. Simon Olsen
just takes the hit and keeps going.
Yeah, completely undeterred by that massive clatter from the 350Z behind him.
I will say Simon can't get zone 1 if he paid for it. Like
No.
he all weekend has struggled with getting the car out there. I'm not sure what's going on. Need to have a chat with that boy. Zone 2, he got on the throttle. He could have floated that a little bit longer. And then once he got into zone 3, and this is how it's been all weekend, he's fine. Zone 4, though,
look at this.
Look at that.
It's a huge impact.
Yeah. This is a testament to those HGK body kits, though. They pop back out and you just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, Simon just used that to push himself deeper into zone 4 and finished off the run. So we have the judges looking at the replays, trying to assess fault. Was this Simon being too slow coming into zone 4? And what they're saying is if Simon was slowing down too much going into 4, if that was his fault, is that supposed to be a decel zone, or is he supposed to be accelerating at that point? So that is the discussion they're having right now. So this is the replay. So you guys decide at home. Is Simon too slow? You can see the left foot brake.
Well, our judges are saying that there's a handbrake and then there's a foot brake. That is not a decel zone, and he is using 2 different types of braking methods to slow the car up. No other car has had this problem so far around. So, although Jean-Eric was cutting the track,
But
there isn't a decel zone there. There isn't, and he clearly was. He wasn't just putting the car where it needs to be.
Right. He
was slowing down.
Wow. What a turn of events here. But that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, if you're slowing down in a non-decel zone, then that's a detriment to your run. So it looks like both cars are okay from what we can tell from here.
Remarkably okay.
Yeah, it was a good hit.
Yeah, it was. And wheels were clattering together, and they're still driving, which is remarkable. I guess they're just having a look over both cars for safety reasons, and then they will go again.
Just going through the chat here. We're having some discussions there as well. Make sure to voice your opinion in the chat.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we are doing our best to read through it as we swap this up. And Jan-Eric out front. Simon, hopefully someone has told him what's going on, and he knows he's going to have to chase like a madman. And right now it looks that way. Simon keeping a very consistent proximity. Could definitely be closer.
Yeah, this is looking really nice, though. Very nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Jean-Eric not cutting the track too much. Simon Olsen really needs to do some work here, and he needs to dive in on the side of Jean-Eric's car, get some proximity. Is that two?
That looked like 2 wheels off.
That looked nearly like 2 wheels off from Jean-Eric there.
Oh, man. Wow.
We're going to have to look at the replay for that, because not only does an edge of the wheel has to go, the whole wheel has to be over for it to be a 2 wheels off.
That is what we are going to be watching for here. So Simon had a great chase. Not a lot of proximity, but mirrored very well. Found the angles, so we're going to be watching
here. He looks
here.
Comfortable in that position, just there. Just a slight dab of the brake, not too much of a correction.
And this is it coming up to see if he went 2 wheels off. Both of us leaning in very intently.
I can't see.
We need a different angle. That looks... Oh! Play it again. Okay, so the judges are discussing, is this an incomplete to an incomplete? Is Simon's run considered an incomplete, even though he just decelled in that area? Now, the decel did obviously cause the collision, so we'll see. For the people wondering at home, yes, this is the same guy that does the FD podcast. I saw about 3 comments about it so far.
Is it the guy? Yeah, that's the guy.
You guys can't see it. I've got the hat on and everything.
Yes, and
I haven't taken it off.
It was so hot yesterday. I was like, how are you wearing it? How
it's
are
not
you
even
wearing
that bad.
hat?
So our judges are still talking about and discussing, is it considered an incomplete for what Simon did? It's obviously an incomplete for what Jan-Eric did. If they double incompleted, then we have to run again.
I mean,
But then is it the question of who incompleted first, right? So Simon technically
is that a
incompleted
rule? Who
I don't know.
incompletes first? Or
Well,
is it
if you
just-
incomplete earlier in the run.
I don't. I think if it's just the whole run then.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's a thing.
I don't
if
know.
you
I don't know.
incomplete the run
making
earlier
this
on
more
your run
complicated.
than you did on the other run.
I'm trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Keeping the discussion going. So we are waiting to hear back from the judges.
We are going to go again.
I think we are.
I think we're going to go
I think
again.
we're going to go again.
Yeah, we are. We're
Simon,
going again.
Simon, one more time, Olsen. The boy
Well-
needs an OMT tattoo.
I mean, those are two fantastic-looking cars, and the colours they've got
I know.
here.
The underglow.
It really looks good. It looks
Bring-
absolutely fantastic in this environment.
Mandate underglow.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Every car needs to have
You
it.
want so much stuff mandated.
Yes, mandate underglow and turbos out of the hood. Look at. By the time we're done this weekend, I will have my entire rule book built for what I think drifting should be.
Yeah, it's just one car that goes round the whole time. They all look the
All
same.
NASCAR.
Yeah, they all look the same, and then you'll be bored of it.
Oh man. Oh, what a night.
Beer cam.
Beer cam. Hey, they brought it in. No way. Tell me they had this graphic before we mentioned the chug
I
cam.
hope so.
I hope so. If they made that just for us, I'll be incredibly impressed. Hey, now you gotta drink it.
Yeah, you got to drink it.
You gotta drink it. Don't just show me the beer. You're just teasing now. No, this has been phenomenal so far. I think I'm over the jet lag finally.
Really?
I think so. I had a hard sleep last night, that's for sure.
You didn't even wake up to my snoring. So.
I did not. No. You honestly, you could have had a 4-piece band in there, and I think I would have slept the whole time.
You did, didn't we?
You might have. The beer cam. There it is. Hey.
Hey, that's what you meant to do on beer cam.
Yeah. I'm more worried about the guy with the cigarette about to burn his eyelashes off.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere here in Ferropolis. It really is a truly magical event. It's hard to describe without being here.
Yeah, it's both big and small at the same time. Like, it's a huge property, it's a huge venue, but like the way they've organized it, everything feels like a small, tight drift event.
Yeah.
Right? Dance
Touch.
cam. Yeah, look at graphics guys are on point tonight. Shouts out to the graphics team. We need a donut cam next. Can we get one of those? All right, so we are going to be waiting for them to get their tires on, everything else. If you are watching at home, drop in the comments. You got questions for us, either Mike or myself. This is Mike's great comeback to announcing.
Great comeback.
Yeah.
Haven't been gone long.
How long have you been gone?
8 months.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Nah, it's comeback. Yeah, I'll call it a comeback. That's for sure.
I mean, the series just stopped, and
Well-
then that was it. I didn't quit or anything.
Okay, that's good. You were forced quit. You were promoted to unemployed.
Yeah, that's what happened. The company went bankrupt, is what happened.
Well,
And
okay.
then- yeah.
I mean,
There's not a lot else you can do about that.
no, that's fair. But no, it's been good. I've very much enjoyed. We've learned that we are very much the same person.
Yeah.
Both into barbecue, heavy metal.
Kiss cam, here we go.
Ah,
Go
there you
on.
go. Come on, boys.
Go on, boys, don't be shy.
Yeah. It's 2023. Hey! Someone said these announcers hate each other. There's no way.
Well, they hate each other.
Yeah.
Why would they think that?
I don't know.
No.
Nah. This guy's on a first date. Look at him. He's like, yeah.
Please don't.
We need the friend zone now. Dance cams, come
cam.
on. Let's go.
These people are less enthusiastic. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go to a small
There we go.
enthusiastic.
Oh, there we go.
There we
Hey.
go. That's what you got to do.
Good thing there's no camera in here. They can't see us dance.
Yeah. You don't want to see that.
No, you definitely don't want to see that. It'd be bad.
It's like a scene of the Goonies.
What's that called? When he does that, there's the truffle shuffle.
Truffle.
These people need the beer cam, and then we got to come back with the dance cam 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's the trick
yeah,
here.
that's how it's going to work. And,
Yeah.
then much later is the kiss cam.
Yeah, yeah. I can't tell they got flags
Are
there
they
or
fishing?
360 cams.
Are
They
people
might be
fishing?
fishing
Yeah.
for beer. Oh. Loving the comments here, guys. Really appreciate it. Patrick Vinek. Oh man, I can't pronounce that. Vinenkak. This is Golden. You guys are killing it behind the mics. Thank you. We are actually having an absolute blast here. Mike and I have been hanging out basically since the airport. I don't think we've really left each other.
No.
No. Been a call. Oh no! Oh, no! None of that. None of that. Put it away, man. Put it away.
The cameraman didn't switch cameras.
No, the director stayed on.
Yeah,
we have a link to the director. We could talk to him. Oh, the damage.
Come on, guys.
Let's go. Let's start dancing. Look at the guy in the middle. Not
Yeah,
having
there
it.
we go.
Look at
There
that
we
death glare.
go.
He is not having it. There we go.
He even shook his head. Do we actually say while we're just watching people dance around? We're waiting for tires.
We're waiting for tires. Yeah,
is
so Simon
what's actually
Olsen
happened.
and Jan Erik Seabear.
One more time again. They can only you have to judge this.
Oh,
run
you
though.
missed the
There's
good
no
kiss
more one
cam.
more times.
Yeah. You missed a good one.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Yeah. Someone asked if we're online. I think we are.
I'm pretty sure there's people.
Nah, it's all good. Oh, the dance cam is making its rounds.
Yeah, some confusion on here. You can have the dance cam, but we're not allowed to broadcast any music.
Ah, we got to pay for that license.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used all the money up on our salaries.
Yeah.
No money for music.
I don't know what you're getting paid for.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, y'all are getting paid for this? Oh. Iron Drift Gang, this is the gentleman. I couldn't pronounce his last name. This is one of the worst Czech surnames you can get. Even Czech people can't say it. I feel better now. I feel much better now. Vnenkek, I think is what it is. My uncle's Czech.
see.
It's a bottom comment there. My uncle's Czech. His name is Miroslav Zapletel. It's like the most European name I've ever heard.
Hang on. Vensak.
That's better than what I got. I said Venkak. I don't know what the A with the little letter means. Beer cam and dance cam equals demonetized. Oh man. I'm glad you guys are hanging out in the chat though. We are waiting. We're trying to keep it light, have some fun.
Yeah, I mean the atmosphere is very much of a festival.
Yeah.
Here in Ferropolis.
It's a party that happens.
Yeah, it
to have
really
drifting.
is.
Yeah.
And the party is constant.
Yeah.
Well, it never stops.
It's a party and a drifting event broke out.
There we go. They illuminated the beer
Hey.
cam now.
Look at that. Oh, they're pounding it. I think we'll need to be on the beer cam later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After the event has finished, I shall definitely be on the beer cam.
I think so. You showed me a little bit earlier. You warmed up to the beer cam. Oh,
Dance cam.
people are getting into it. That's great.
Those tires must be nearly done now.
They might need you out
Surely,
there.
gentlemen.
You might have to get out there and give them a
Yeah,
hand.
nah.
I did get to see you weld this weekend. so that was nice.
I've been doing enough. I've done enough.
I've yet to get my hands dirty, so
Yeah, I noticed.
yeah.
Every time there was something to do, yeah, it just got missing.
I don't know how to use accent marks, but I know how to type them. This is great. This is what FD should be.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
I agree.
Da kommen sie
We have fun. Come on now.
I just wanted to see if you'd bite.
No, I think my boss is listening. Oh man, one of the funnest drift events I've ever seen. It really is. We can't say it enough. It is an absolute blast here. Even just walking around, everyone's been.
Everyone's super
great.
friendly, really friendly.
Yeah, we've both been stopped a couple times now by people, and it's been good. You know, like half the grid here.
No, not really.
I don't know.
It's only because you only notice it more because they're English and they're loud.
That's
and Irish and they're loud.
I don't know. One of your one. Oh Jesus, guys!
Oh,
cameraman, come on! Where's the director on this? Oh. Lots of Norwegian flags. Hey,
we've got cars.
We got cars.
We have cars, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Now, is Simon leading again?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Does he lead first every time?
I qualified higher.
Does that mean you always lead first?
I believe so.
Regardless?
I believe so.
Okay.
I mean, it seems to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. I mean, I pretend to. I pretend to make up a lot of rules, but none of them.
You try and
actually
instigate some rules, definitely. You're trying to. I've been trying to change the game.
I've been pushing FD to run Utah backwards since Utah. I bring it up every time.
And have they? No. Oh, here we go. Simon now leading in to the first corner as the Frenchman Jean-Eric Sieber making a little bit of a mistake behind. He needs to dive. There's that braking again by Simon, just like he did on the first time round. That was a huge mistake, but Jean cutting the track massively just against the proximity, gets onto his rear quarter as they come over the line. Another scrappy run.
Yeah.
But was there braking again into clip 3?
So Simon
clip 4, sorry.
Was able to get out to outside zone 1 for the first time. He was able to get through the second zone as well, but he is shallow through most of these zones. He's just getting the rear wheels in. He's kind of meeting the minimum requirements of it.
Yeah.
But Jan-Erik having troubles keeping up. He does. He taps the brakes again, going into the same zone.
He's braking again, fairly hard as well.
So we'll have to see. Obviously, we still have another battle to go. It did look like Jan-Erik there may have straightened in the chase. Look at the amount of smoke, though. Like, how do you see anything?
Yeah, I think that was more of a handbrake drag, like just diagonal. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that count as straight if you're just going in a straight line diagonally?
Yeah.
Does that count?
So this is a very interesting question that's come up a few times. Do your wheels go straight?
Yeah.
So if your wheels go straight, but you are still drifting and floating sideways, is that going straight? That is a debate we're going to have for a while.
All right, Jean now leading out. Simon as they come through the first corner, not making too many mistakes now from Jean. As Simon dives back onto the side during clipping point 4, the long clipping zone. The Frenchman hitting the concrete block around the outside. Simon now reeling him in as they come over the line, nearly kissing the back wheels together.
Yeah, so I would say that Jan-Erik had a better lead run here, but Simon may have had a better chase. But once again, you need a good lead to have a good chase. So as we go through these replays, you can definitely see that Jan-Erik gets those zones just a little bit better in almost all of them.
He does, yeah.
But Simon is able to catch up and pull proximity a little bit quicker. You can see a bit of a late transition there going into 4.
There isn't the breaking into 4 by Jean Eriksen as there is with Simon. I just don't think he can get it out of his head not to break.
It seems compulsive at this point.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's just settling the car as it gets into the zone, trying to settle the car, coming out of the transition. But regardless, you can see it. You can see what the car is doing.
And the judges are able to pick this apart,
which they are very heavily. They are ripping back and forth through the replays right now, making the hard calls. Once again, I do not want that job. Don't ask me. Don't bribe me. I'm not doing it. As we see here, and Jan-Erik Sieber takes out Simon Olsen in top 32.
There we go.
Wow. And they're just about to get the news. We got the news early. Simon gracious in defeat. But knowing him well, he is going to now relax and hang out, maybe party. I have seen that boy party.
Yeah,
I have seen it. Oh, I wrote down the wrong driver. I kept talking about Simon. I wrote him down. And that's going to do it for our top 32, finally. After waiting. Oh, I'm hearing burnouts. Not seeing them. As we can see there, the team coming in early, lighting up all of our rigs, which I think we've given names of Dorothy, like there's a Bertha in there. Martha, and John. John the Digger.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, that's the big scoop wheel one in the back.
That's it.
Yeah. And there it is. That is going to be our top 16. This is going to be crazy. Jean-Eric Sibert, Torin Cavilla, Fionn Roche, Bas Mule.
Yeah, that's going to be a good battle, those two.
Miko and Jan
All of these are going to be pretty good.
Archie Sugarhammer and Sondre Irga. Andreas Lida and Piotr Kozlowski. Jamie Furel and Andreas Anker. Sebastian Fontier. I'm getting real cocky with these.
You're
now.
doing it. You're doing really well. This is remarkable. Keep going.
And Kim Matthias said, hey!
Yay, well done.
I probably only offended 3 people. This is going to be an absolutely wild top 16, though. I mean, like, just even our first battle in top 32 was absolutely crazy. But we are going to be right back here after a short break.